I'm in Hollywood, California on the Sunset Strip at Al Bane's leather shop. Al Bane For Leather. This guy's a master leather craftsman. He's been making custom leather products for over 40 years for rock stars, musicians, you name it. So let's take a tour of the shop.
You say,
Al, what's up, brother?
what are you doing, man?
How you doing, man? How's the shop doing?
We're hanging in there.
All right. Show me around a little bit. What's
Look at
going on
this
in the
over
front here?
Well, this is our little staging area. It's kind of a showroom per se, but then there's stuff. Pam and her little grocery bags have dominated since we sold out all our guitar straps last month.
This stuff looks great.
Yeah, that's typically where we hang our guitar straps. There's some over here and some of them over here.
Look at the guitar straps.
Yeah, these are for Dave Ellison merchandising.
All these right here?
Yeah. Ellison by Al Bane For Leather.
Right on.
Yeah.
What's with the amps down here?
My friend is blowing out a bunch of his stuff out of his studio, so there they are, $50 a piece.
All right, I'll take 3.
If you need them. Look at this thing. This is cool. You know Jay Rex? Do you remember him?
J-Rex.
He's Sons of Anarchy stuntman up on the ranch
I
over
don't
there
know
with
him personally.
Weston and all that.
I don't know him personally, but
Well, anyway, that's his.
that's cool stuff. You made all the stuff by hand.
Well, you know.
Everything in here.
Well, we have sewing machines that help, and riveting machines. You want to see? This is the Cobra Class 17. It's in the middle of a little job there. We're building a pair of purple stretch lambskin shorts.
Wow.
There's an overlock over there with Anthony's pants on them.
Anthony's pants?
Yeah, a friend of ours, Anthony.
All right.
And then this is the Cobra Class 18, which is another level heavier than the 17. So this
Okay.
has the bigger thread in it and for a little more rugged stuff.
All right.
Motorcycle jacket versus lambskin jacket.
Very cool. You ever stabbed your finger with the needles?
No, never have. I've never stabbed myself, but I have scratched myself by getting too close and letting the tip hit.
You gotta
That's
be
no
careful
fun.
there, Al.
There's
All right.
the cutting table where all the stuff happens. It's, you know.
Oh, we got guitars. What's going on with these guitars here?
I decided I wanted to learn how to play during COVID, and the collection just keeps growing.
Well, you better learn how to play.
I'm trying to do it.
All right.
This is the biggest sewing machine in the city. It's a
Let's see, the Conso.
It's a Conso 7 class. So
Wow.
It's an old-fashioned monster machine. They'll sew 1.25 inches thick. Pretty neat.
Oh my God. So that's for like super thick leather, right?
Well, we do a job for SpaceX with that thing. Basically it's a Faraday cage tarp to reflect lightning from striking the rocket bodies.
Wow.
So it's thick. So we have to have that thing.
Maybe Katy Perry can get a suit made with that.
Here you go. If she doesn't want to ever move again, that's the suit.
Oh, I remember these things right here. I've had those at one of the shops I used to work at.
That thing,
That'll
we
take
use
your
it, we
finger
use it
off.
to sand the edges of our guitar straps when we laminate the tips on.
Nice.
So, see?
Let's see. Let's see. Check it out.
So, this piece is a, I'm going to give away a trade secret. This is a bison tip. It doesn't stretch at all.
Okay.
But then this part is made out of a composite. So we skive it down, which is the machine will shave off the edge a little bit so it's thinner. Okay? And then we'll split the tip and sandwich it in there, but then the edge needs a little trimming.
Right.
And so we end up sanding it off.
Let's sand it.
And there you go. Now it's nice and smooth.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful, Al.
Gross and unfinished and finished.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right.
So we have a lot of sewing equipment. A lot of it just lives at what we call at rest. It's ready to go whenever we decide to pull it out and put it on the main floor.
Okay.
So this class 4 sewing machine, I use it almost every day building strap goods. We've gotten into a lot of guitar straps and belts because we're over here on the Sunset Strip on Guitar Row. So a lot of guitar players and stuff. So we miraculously got into making guitar straps, and it's taken off pretty well. So we're making them every day. So this is the go-to machine for that. Cool machine, you know. It's called the Dream Machine from the Leather Machine Company. So we use this one and the Bell Skiver and the sander, right?
Very good, very good.
Okay, but
I love it.
over here,
Look at this machine. What's this one right here?
that is a patcher machine. The interesting part about it is that it'll sew in any direction that this foot is going.
Okay.
So you can rotate it around, and now the work will go that way. And rotate it this way, it'll go that way.
Wow.
Whereas most other sewing machines, you have to pivot the work around
Right.
the needle. This one, the needle will pivot around the work.
That's brilliant.
It's really cool.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Really cool. Here's a post bed machine. Okay, that's like, imagine sewing on the bottom of a bag,
Okay.
whereas a cylinder bed machine is good for sewing around the opening of the bag.
All right.
Okay, now this thing right here, this is cool. It's a Reese 101 keyhole buttonhole machine. So it does your blue jean buttonholes. See that shape?
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
That's how they do that.
That's exactly how they do that.
That's cool.
But that machine is notorious in history in that it was part of a class action lawsuit, an antitrust lawsuit where the sewing machine manufacturers were making it impossible for the factory owner to actually own the equipment. They would only lease them. So if you look on the other side, there's a little clock, and it would count how many buttonholes, and then the owner of the factory would have to pay at the end of the month or whatever the cycle was for every buttonhole. So they'd end up buying the machine 10 or 20 times over and never having the option to move it because they rented the machine to the address but not the person. So it was a big deal, and the sewing industry was run like that from the Reese company and then the USA boot making machinery company, and they held people over the barrel. But so all the leatherworking people got together and made a big lawsuit, and then those companies got dissolved, and it's now illegal to do that.
Wow.
But this one was made in 1959, and it still works like a champ today.
That's beautiful, Al.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Remember
I love
before we were
machines.
talking about lightweight and heavier weight machines?
Yes.
So these two are in the same family. They're both cylinder bed,
Okay.
but this is a lightweight versus a heavyweight. So we run
It's a little bit smaller. This one's bigger. Same
but,
company?
but it'll pierce a lot lighter or heavier.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so this will do much heavier
Thicker.
than the other one. So thread size is it's numeric, right? So we run 346 nylon here, where over there the biggest thread that we run in there is 207. So
Well, all
a
right.
third again bigger.
That's cool, Al.
Yeah.
Like it.
Back
I
over
like it.
here is the kick press department. So these machines squash like kicking them. This one's set up with a little rivet die. Put a rivet in and
Oh, yeah.
kick it, and it slams into things.
I used this before. You
Yeah.
showed me how to use this about 10 years ago.
Yeah. This one's set up for grommets. That one's set up for rivets. And there's a number 5 grommet press and a burnisher and stuff.
You know, the older machines, I swear to God, they're like the best machines, the older ones, you know, they're heavy duty, made out of really heavy duty steel,
Yeah.
and they're better than the new stuff.
Sure.
You know?
Some toolboxes full of all the bells and whistles you need. Here, look in here. Studs and grommets and whatever, and then over here this is full of hand tools for punching holes. So these are all the drive punches.
Yeah.
And this drawer is full of kick press dies. So these are all the dies for all the different studs. This goes on like that, and then over here, these
Tools
are-
of the trade.
Yeah, knives and stuff like that. Drawer full of knives and awls. Kind of got to be careful where you put your fingers.
Yeah.
Here's a drawer full of all the tailoring scissors.
Right.
Kai USA.
They'll cut through leather, anything.
Well, they're
look
for
really
fine fabrics. So these are,
and very sharp.
yeah, they're really sharp. Yeah, Kai USA. They take care of this.
Nice, nice. All right.
So welcome to Leather Hell.
Well, Al, Bane for Leather. I've known you for so
ya.
many years, and it's like amazing. And this is right on the Sunset Strip, and it's just beautiful here. And you have a lot of clients that high-end clients that you deal with, and it's great.
Well, yeah, we cater to the rock and roll industry, so we have our own little corner where we kind of reside. We work in fashion, but we don't do a lot of high fashion. We're a custom leather house that specializes in clothing and accessories for the motion picture and music industry. So it's kind of a rock and roll vibe around here. And we've got a lot of rock and roll friends. We've been on the Sunset Strip for about 40 years now,
Yeah.
so we've made friends with a lot of people.
Everybody knows you, Al. Everybody that I know knows you.
Well, we try to be humble about that.
It's
So,
just-
you know, we're a mile and a half away from the Whiskey a Go-Go.
exactly.
We get to party there all the time. That's the benefit.
Right on. All right, Al. Well, thank you so much for showing me around your shop. And I've known you for so many years. And this is one of about 3 shops that I've been to that you've had. And this is really fantastic right here on the Sunset Strip. And it's fantastic. And love your work, baby.
Yeah, big boy.
Everybody does. All right, man. I love you.
See you.